Welcome. My name is Nina, and I'm here with my partner Adrian today, and we are going to be talking about the importance of having equal pay at CVS Health. We believe that our people are the greatest assets. Every day, over 300,000 employees serve millions of customers with compassion, integrity, and innovation. Yet, as our company grows, we have been facing an ongoing challenge, ensuring equal pay for equal work across all job roles, particularly between store and pharmacy management teams. Some background to the issue is recently an internal discussion and external reports have highlighted disparities in compensation between CVS store managers and pharmacy managers. While both roles demand leadership, long hours, and direct accountability for performance and customer satisfaction, the pay scales have not always reflected an equal valuation of their work. This issue has sparked debate within the company as how CVS can better uphold its commitment to the employee equity, employee retention, and fair treatment. So, to explain this debate a little bit more, we focus on whether CVS should standardize equal pay across similar management positions, especially between retail managers and pharmacy managers, based on comparable workloads, leadership responsibilities, and contribution to the business outcomes. So, while we're going to be talking, there are two important definitions I want to take note on. The first one being equal pay for equal work is defined by the U.S. Department of Labor to mean that all men and women who perform sustainably equal work in the same establishment must receive equal pay as the U.S. Department of Labor states. And number two, employee equal rights is defined by the Society of Human Resource Management, an abbreviation SHRM, to mean that the fair and unbiased treatment of employees, including pay, promotion, and access to opportunities, regardless of gender, race, and role. So, the framework to this issue is that we believe that we should focus on ethical responsibility, employee engagement, and sustainable business performance. A decision rooted in fairness, transparency, and long term retention aligns with the CVS corporate values and supports its reputation as a healthcare leader that truly cares for its people. My partner Adrian and I affirm that the course that we suggest and will support the CVS Health should adopt an equal pay policy across all comparable managerial roles, supported by regular pay audits, transparency salary structures, and leadership accountability to ensure fair compensation practices. Now, with that, we are going to lead you to our first argument, which my partner Adrian will take over.
Thank you, Nina. So for our first argument is equal pay for equal work. We argue that all managers at CVS Health stores should receive equal pay to acknowledge the significant value of their work and effort. The store managers at CVS play an essential role by overseeing the entire store operations, managing larger teams, and interacting with a greater number of customers than other roles, such as pharmacy managers. A 2018 report by the World Economic Forum underscores that equal pay for equal work is not only a matter of fairness, but also an advantage for business. Companies that implement pay equality often witness enhanced productivity and improved financial performance. These practices make a positive work environment that motivates employees, leading to an increased job satisfaction and loyalty. For CVS, addressing this issue is crucial, as ensuring equal pay for store managers is a significant step towards achieving workplace fairness. By recognizing their contributions through equity compensation, CVS can foster a sense of appreciation among employees, boosting their morale and commitment. This improved employee satisfaction is likely to enhance store performance and customer experience. In today's competitive job market, fairness is essential for retaining talented managers. By ensuring equal compensation, CVS can not only maintain a motivated workforce, but also establish itself as a leader in this industry. Going back to Nina.
Thank you, Adrian. And now we're going to focus on argument two, employee retention and motivation through pay equity. We argue that implementing an equal pay structure will significantly improve the employee retention and motivation across all CVS retail and pharmacy divisions. While employees must see their work as valued equally, they're more likely to stay with the company and perform at a higher level. The evidence to support this is according to the workplacefairness.org, writer Kathy Heldman explains that employee equal rights is defined by the SHRM to mean the fair and unbiased treatment of their employees, including pay, promotion, and access to opportunities regardless of gender, race, and role. In her article, The Pay Equity in the Workplace, why does it matter and how is it to achieve it? Heldman dives into the idea that pay equity is the foundational to workplace fairness, and the key factor is building a positive work enforcement and work environment. The article emphasizes that employees are more likely to stay with the company when they trust the compensation decisions are fair and transparent. It also highlights that pay disparity, especially those across gender or job type, can harm moral and reduce engagement and lead to higher turnover rates. The article recommends that companies conduct regular pay audits and standardize salary ranges and ensure transparency in pay structures to maintain trust and compliance. Now, you might be asking, why does this matter? Well, CVS success depends on a motivated and long-term employees who feel respected and valued for its contributions. Unequal pay between similar managerial roles, such as the store managers and pharmacy managers, can create tension, resentment, and a lost trust in the leadership, which can cause a lot of retention. By taking proactive steps to ensure pay equity, CVS can strengthen their reputation as a fair and inclusive employer, reduce cost, turnover, and expense of retraining new managers, and increase moral productivity and teamwork across retail and pharmacy divisions. Ultimately, pay equity is not only an ethical commitment, but also a smart business strategy that drives retention, strengthens culture, and ensures long-term organizational stability. Now to our final argument. Adrian, take it away.
For our third argument, promotion of career growth, we argue that implementing equal pay initiatives can serve as a powerful motivator for store managers to enhance their skills, knowing their efforts would be truly recognized and rewarded. This approach fosters a more skilled workforce, boosting the company's overall capabilities and effectiveness. The article, What is the Impact of Pay Equality on Employee Motivation? Supports that companies that do emphasize skill development and offer fair compensation have been observed to perform better in terms of innovation and customer satisfaction. Feedback from employees at competitors who have implemented similar policies highlights a strong correlation between equal pay and job satisfaction. Real-world examples of business that successfully integrated equal pay is to demonstrate improved financial performances and employee loyalty. This matters because developing a more skilled and motivated work, CVS Health can strengthen its competitive position to the healthcare and retail sectors. Promoting equality and fairness aligns with CVS Health's values and commitment to creating a positive work environment. Implementing equal pay as a strategy to promote career growth among store managers presents a valuable opportunity for CVS Health. By fostering a motivated and skilled workforce, the company can enhance their operational effectiveness and core values. We recommend that CVS prioritizes equal pay initiatives as part of its broader strategy for career development. Going back to Nina.
Thank you, Adrian. And based on our arguments, we believe that CVS Health should take decisive action to strengthen its committee to employee equal rights by implementing a company-wide pay equity policy across comparable managerial positions. This action supports a core company values, integrity, respect, and accountability, as reflects the belief that fairness if pay leads to fairness in the culture. Pay, pay equal for equal work is not simply a compliance issue. It is a leadership decision that influences moral performance and also the ability to retain a top talent. By ensuring the store managers and pharmacy managers are compensated equally by their leadership and workload and responsibility, CVS will also send a powerful message that every employee contribution is valued equally. This approach will not only enhance retention and motivation, as noted in the workplacefairness.org article, but also reinforce CVS reputation as an employer of the choice in the healthcare industry. Therefore, we recommend that the CVS Health should do four things. The first, conduct annual pay audits to identify and close any compensation gaps. Number two, standardize pay bands across comparable managerial roles to ensure fairness and transparency. Number three, publish internal pay equity reports to maintain accountability and build employee trust. Number four, Provide leadership training as an equitable compensation practices to support a consistent and inclusive culture. By adopting these measures, CVS will be able to demonstrate we not only care for our customers' health, we are deeply care about the well-being of the fairness of our workplace. Equal pay for equal work will strengthen our company and our culture and our commitment in doing what is right for every employee. And we thank you guys for listening to the pro side. Now we want to hear the con side.
Thank you for that, Nina and Adrian. But I'd like you guys to imagine a CVS store that opens its doors every morning, but the pharmacy inside stays closed because there's no licensed pharmacist available to supervise it. Even if every retail manager shows up, the pharmacy is legally not allowed to operate. That scenario highlights today's dilemma, which is that pharmacy managers hold credentials and responsibilities that are not just preferred, but are required by law. The question is not whether both managers work hard, but whether their roles carry the same operational and legal weight. CVS Health maintains a pay differential between pharmacy managers and retail managers, reflecting the additional education, licensure, and risk carried by pharmacists. Pharmacy managers are responsible for controlled substances, patient health outcomes, and compliance with strict state and federal regulations, including laws that prohibit a pharmacy from opening without a licensed pharmacy on duty. For instance, in states such as California, Texas, and New York, corporate pharmacies cannot dispense medication or remain open to the public unless a licensed pharmacist is present to supervise operations. This means pharmacy managers are not only leaders, but they are the legal gatekeepers to the company's ability to function as a healthcare provider. The debate centers around whether pharmacy managers should continue receiving higher compensation than retail managers. The pro side, which is our position, argues that the differential is justified by professional licensure, regulatory accountability, and direct patient impact responsibilities. Equalizing pay could devalue years of education and licensure that are legally required to keep CVS pharmacies open and in operation. The con side argues that fairness and teamwork are paramount, but fairness must also include the recognition of legal and medical responsibilities. We would like to present two definitions. One of them is licensure liability and operational necessity. Licensure liability is the direct professional and legal accountability that licensed pharmacists carry for all prescriptions dispensed, including potential civil and criminal penalties for any mistakes or violations. Operational necessity is the condition where a licensed individual is required by law for a department or facility to operate, making that person indispensable to the business continuity. The framework that should be guiding this decision is risk responsibility alignment. Compensation should reflect not only managerial performance, but also the magnitude of personal, legal, and ethical risks associated with that role. Pharmacy managers bear regulatory and patient care burdens that retail managers do not share with them. Aligning pay with these factors safeguards CVS from compliance failures, lawsuits, and reputational harm. We affirm the resolution that pharmacy managers should be paid more than retail managers. And the course of action we suggest and support is that CVS Health should maintain a differentiated pay structure for pharmacy managers that recognizes licensure and clinical risk and ties a portion of pay to compliance, safety, and patient care metrics, preserving competitive premiums in markets where pharmacist availability constrains pharmacy operating hours. And now I'd like to pass it on to Anaiya for our first argument.
Thank you, Arjun. Our advanced training and licensure justify higher pay. Our argument is that pharmacy managers earn higher pay because their work demands extensive education, state licensing, and continuous accountability for patient safety responsibilities that go beyond general store management. Paying all managers the same will ignore these specialized obligations and could weaken motivation amongst professionals who invest years preparing for these roles. The evidence that support this is that becoming a pharmacy manager requires completing a Doctor of Pharmacy program, passing rigorous licensure exams, and maintaining ongoing and continuing education credits. Pharmacy managers oversee the secure handling of controlled substances, verify prescriptions, and ensure compliance with federal and state law. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, pharmacists typically invest 6 to 8 years in higher education, far longer than most retail management tracks, and carry direct liability for medication accuracy. Research from the Society for Human Resource Management also finds that pay differentiation based on specialized skills helps companies attract and retain high-performing employees in complex, high-risk roles. This matters because maintaining differentiated pay protects CVS from financial and reputational costs of losing specialized talent. Rewarding expertise ensures consistent compliance and reinforces CVS identity as trusted healthcare brand. Equal pay may appear fair at first glance, but will erode quality, increase turnover, and harm both employees and customers in the long run. I'll pass this back to you, Arjun.
And our second point is that legal and operational accountability justify the higher pay. Pharmacy managers deserve higher pay because they are the only individuals legally authorized to keep the CVS pharmacies operational and open. Without them, the pharmacy division cannot function regardless of how effective retail management is. The evidence to support this is according to California Business and Professional Code 4113 and Texas Administrative Code 291.32 explicitly require that a licensed pharmacist be present to operate a pharmacy. Failure to comply can result in license suspensions, fines, and closure. The American Association of Colleges of Pharmacies reports that the national shortage of licensed pharmacists has made qualified pharmacy managers increasingly valuable, particularly as healthcare retail models expand. This matters because a retail manager can run the front end of the store, but the pharmacy cannot legally serve patients without a licensed pharmacist managing it. CVS's business model relies on pharmacy operations for a majority of its revenue and customer trust. Paying pharmacy managers more is not favoritism, but it is a recognition of the legal, ethical, and professional weight they carry daily. Equal pay can create liability gaps, weaken CVS's compliance posture, and reduce motivation amongst licensed professionals who have invested years into clinical education and oversight training. And now I'd like to pass it back to Anaiya.
And for our third argument is that forcing identical pay for pharmacy and retail managers will make CVS less competitive in recruiting and retaining licensed pharmacists directly, threatening patient safety and service quality. Pharmacy managers should require unique clinical and legal responsibility that retail managers do not. The evidence that support this is that data from the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy shows a continuing shortage of licensed pharmacists nationwide. When employers flatten pay structures, turnover rises, and skilled professionals often migrate to competitors who value their expertise appropriately. According to SHRM, replacing a specialized employee can cost more than 150% of their annual salary when lost productivity and training are included. In pharmacy operations, those losses translate into longer wait times, medication errors, and higher compliance risks. This matters because CVS credibility depends on maintaining highly trained pharmacy leaders who safeguard patients' trust and operational integrity. Differentiated pay reflects fair recognition of expertise, not favoritism. By maintaining competitive compensation for pharmacy managers, CVS preserves service quality, legal compliance, and long-term organizational stability. Now back to you, Arjun.
Thank you. So, based on our arguments, we think that CVS should take the following actions. We believe CVS Health should maintain the differentiated pay compensation for pharmacy managers that reflects their higher educational investment, licensure requirements, and the critical legal role they play in keeping pharmacies open and compliant. This structure should continue rewarding professional accountability, incentivizing talent retention, and protecting CVS from regulatory and reputational risk. Maintaining this pay differential is not only inequitable, rather, it is an acknowledgement of responsibility, expertise, and essential functions that only pharmacy managers can legally perform. Thank you for listening to our side of the debate, and we had a couple questions for you and Adrian and Nina.
Of course.
So my question is Isn't it possible that differences in pay might reflect different retention strategies or incentives for various managerial roles?
Well, that is a great question. Thank you. And while we're speaking on that, we want to make sure that different pay also reflect varying retention strategies and incentives for different managerial roles. It is essential to recognize that equitable compensation should be a foundational principle across all comparable positions. The focus on pay equity at CVS Health is not just emphasizing salaries, but also fostering a culture of fairness and accountability, which is what we want to feel at every single CVS. Implementing equal pay in activities can ensure that all employees feel valued for their contributions, regardless of their specific role or function. By addressing pay disparities, CVS can strengthen its reputation as a fair employer and enhance moral and reduce turnover. Research indicates that that organizations that equitable pay practices report higher job satisfaction, are more motivated, which most ultimately benefits the company. Moreover, the implementation of company-wide pay equity policy is not merely a compliance issue, it translates in improved retention and performance across the board. Rather than adopting different pay strategies that may lead to inconsistencies and perceptions of unfairness, CVS should focus on standardizing pay bands and conducting regular audits to ensure that all employees receive fair compensation for their efforts.
Very nice. Thank you so much for that.
And the question I have for you guys would be, how will you ensure that equal pay does not lead to reduction in individual performance motivation?
Excellent question. So we could implement a robust performance management system that rewards individual contributions and achievements. This can include bonuses, merit business increases, and promotion opportunities tied for specific performance metrics. By clearly defining performance expectations and outcomes, CVS can maintain motivation while ensuring fair play practices. Now, I had a couple of questions for your guys' side. If retail managers are also essential to CVS success and handle more employees and customers daily, why should pharmacy managers earn more just because of education?
That's an excellent question and a very good point as well. But education and licensing are more than just titles. They come with legal duties that keep CVS running safely. Retail managers handle the daily store operations, but the pharmacy managers are responsible for every prescription and controlled medicine that leaves the doors. Without their license, the pharmacy isn't even allowed to open. Their higher pay reflects that level of risk and professional responsibility, not just their additional schooling.
Awesome. Now I actually have one final question. Wouldn't paying all managers equally create a stronger sense of fairness and teamwork across the company?
Equal pay might look fair at first, but it can cause problems over time. If pharmacy managers feel their hard work and training aren't valued, they might leave for other companies. That could hurt safety, slow down service, and cause teamwork issues. Real fairness means understanding that each job has different responsibilities.
Awesome. And with that, we have conducted our debate. Thank you guys, the con side. We hope we win, but thank you guys so much for listening, and we hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.